All right, I love memes. They're the best. They're the gift that keeps on giving. So I brought two of my favorites today. First up, me, we're leaving in 5 minutes. Are you dressed? My toddler. Legit my daily life. It was pajama day and I was still late. The next one is a photo of a leaping bear, and I love this one. It says, rare photos of me jumping to conclusions. That one I also live every day. I love memes because I love to make people laugh. But I shared this last one to humorously give a window into my live elephant gift of anxiety. I was diagnosed with anxiety over 10 years ago. I've managed it through exercise, medication, counseling, prayer, the whole gamut of self-care. But I still have seasons where it feels like the anxiety is consuming my entire existence. It feeds off of everyday pressures. I have a high-capacity job that can become very stressful in a short amount of time. I'm a wife to a husband who intentionally annoys me. I have a toddler who refuses to wear anything I pick out for her. But where it really gets out of hand is the anxiety encourages my mind to legit jazz walk, like that bear, into the worst case scenarios, which sends me into a spiral of fear. Examples like a real estate deal that's in jeopardy. My mind instantly thinks, oh, well, you're not gonna get paid for another month because this is falling through. Or when I have a rough morning with Taya and I drop her off and the minute I let go of her hand, she breaks down in tears. And as I'm walking away, I'm like, what if something happens to me and this is her last memory of me? Or worse, John and I may have a poorly timed argument and he's gotta rush off to catch a plane to go to work. My mind thinks, what if his plane goes down? It gets out of control and the anxiety begins to rule my thoughts. It's hard to stay focused. It's hard to make decisions. Sometimes I can't get myself out of the house and it becomes hard to breathe. At Authentic Women's Conference, I was in worship this past October, and I had a moment where I felt this overwhelming urge to just exhale. And I heard God say, I need more room. So I breathed out again. And he said again, I need more room. It was in that moment where I realized that God was asking to come into a space I had never allowed him to heal before. I made a commitment to myself and my family to be more aware of the anxiety, of the fear, and of the rage that I would sometimes unleash on him. Because let's face it, I'm human. I am not created to carry all of this. I made the wise decision to consult my physician, and made the decision to go back on anxiety medication. I also made time with God a top priority. A verse that I've begun to lean on when it comes to calming my anxiety is Matthew 6, verse 30 through 33. I love the Message translation. It says, if God gives such attention to the appearance of wildflowers, don't you think he'll attend to you and do his best for you? What I'm trying to get you to do here is to relax. You know both God and how he works. Steep your life in God reality. You'll find that all of your everyday human concerns, no matter how big or how small, will be met. Now, as much as I want to leave my anxiety behind in 2019, I have to realize I've just begun to let God heal this in me. But I do want to highlight two reminders that help me process my anxiety when it happens. The first is that he is a God of order. Before John was my husband, he was God's son. Before I even knew I was pregnant with Taya, God formed her perfectly within me and got 5.5 weeks with her in secrecy to love her. He will always cover and protect them more than my worry ever will. The second is, when I struggle to get out of the house, I have to remember that God has a purpose for my life. He needs me to be his hands and feet in the world. I can't do that if I'm in my house obsessing about my anxiety. And if I fall prey to my anxiety, I can miss out on someone who's got a word for me from God. I had coffee with a friend last month, and we were talking about our anxieties, and I asked her, I said, how do you surrender your fear to God? And she said one chain-breaking sentence to me. Name something that God has done that you could have done better. Right? It was like I was on Jeopardy. Beep, beep, beep. What is instant humility? However, I say that every day to remind myself to release my anxiety to God. He gave me the courage and the grace to seek professional help. And because I obeyed, he's now clearing my vision so I can refocus my eyes on him.
Oh, come on.